And we should be up and going. Let's get that thrown out to the world. So here we go again. Another Monday and another rather interesting play happening. So, last 2 weeks have been kind of disappointing. Obviously I took off last Monday. It was Memorial Day. Markets were closed. And we ended up getting quite a bit of rain down here on I think Monday morning, Sunday night. It was pretty impressive overload of rain, so kind of put a hamper on most of my plans for Monday, but we're back this week, and man, I was really hoping we were going to hold on to the 600 level last week. Then we had I think Thursday, sometime during the day Thursday, that story came out about the orders or delivery estimate for China in the month of May, and that put a real hamper on my plans. I was making a play for Tesla to stay kind of where it's at right now, hold above 605, and that didn't happen, so I got kind of spanked last week. But looks like we got a good push up to 6, and then kind of rejected down, and then pushed through it pretty strongly, and then now we've been just up and hovering. I'm watching to see if we get back down to this 602.50 area. If we kind of bounce off of that and keep moving up, we might be at the bottom of this downturn. So this is also the month, so we'll be getting deliveries at the end of this month, which then everybody will be able to put together for their estimates for the quarterly deliveries, and that'll lead us into July. Earnings will be usually around the 3rd, 4th week of July. Now, typically what happens the couple of weeks before earnings, there's usually either a pretty good run up until about a week before, then we got a sell off. So once you kind of start noticing these patterns, it makes it a little easier to plan out your trades. So right now I've got a trade in to see if we come back down to the 602.50, I think we might have a quick push back down to 600. In that case, I'm trying to get a trade filled that's playing the 595 590 spread. So if this goes through, all I would really need is for us to stay above 595 by Friday. So I'm trying to milk the most I can out of it, and if I can get $2 a contract, I'll totally take that today. If not, once we get to Wednesday, I'll look at tightening up the range a little bit and dropping the premium that I want. Downside to that plan is like what happened last week when I played the 605 600 put spread. I put that trade in over here when we were up in the 620s, and of course it went through while I was at work. We broke down to just under 605, came back up, and then got slammed down pretty good. So once that happened, I was kind of in a hold, and we never got back above 605, and then we just dumped hard. So that definitely put a hurting on, but that is part of the game. So I went with that plan, only getting $1.50 per contract, so left me with a wider margin to lose on. I was able to get out of a few contracts and save a little bit, like I think 20 something bucks. So wasn't much, but helped a little. So this week, if I can lock in $500-600, I'll be happy with that. So main thing right now though is just watching how we close for the day, and then the biggest thing is the Thursday, I believe it's the 10th, on Thursday, the Model S Plaid delivery event. So far it's looking like it is still going to be on the 10th. They haven't come out yet and said they're pushing it back again, like everything else that keeps getting pushed back constantly. So, you know, lots of things to watch for this week. I'd be really interested to see what else they do at this Model S Plaid event. Why did they completely cancel the Plaid Plus? Like, it would be really cool if they announce at the event that, oh yeah, we have this model, the Plaid, and you thought you were going to get the Plaid Plus to have 500-mile range. We just went ahead, added that into the standard Plaid version. Hence why we canceled the Plaid Plus. So if they pull that off, that is going to be epic. So, you know, when things like this are coming up, that is the time where you have to be either hyper confident in Tesla to pull something off, like a new miracle, which if any company is going to do it, it's usually Tesla. But with the timing of it being on Thursday, that's still going to leave all day Friday for trading. So if the event doesn't go well, you know, you'll get slammed pretty hard on Friday. But if it does go well and there is a lot of hype and a lot of movement in the stock, if you're not already in a good trade beforehand, then you just are going to miss out. So I'm completely kicking myself for my earlier trade. I think I had to order in for like a 565, 560 spread, and I was only trying to get like $1.30 out of it. But then once we kind of started coming up and getting weak right there, I got nervous from last week's burn, so I closed out of that. I actually probably would have gotten filled when we came down, but I had some other stuff I had to do right then, and I couldn't sit here and watch the price action as it was occurring. So I just canceled the order, got a few things done, and by the time I got back, we had already started pushing back up. So my trade I was trying to get for $1.30 was then worth in the 90-cent range, so would have already been up a good little chunk. But I don't know, when I lose a trade, I get kind of shy on pushing another one through just right after. That's one of the things I need to work on, but I just don't like losing money. So I try to take what I learned from that losing trade and factor it into everything that's going to come after. Yeah, I mean, it keeps coming down right here and getting bought back up in the 604s, so that might be the new level to kind of watch and keep an eye on. I really think that all of the negative energy from these stories over the last couple weeks are starting to run out of steam for pushing down. So we're kind of past due for Tesla's typical, you know, come down, consolidate a bit, and then start working its way back up. So we should be right near, I was kind of thinking it was going to be last week, and hence why I took a smaller premium amount to get into a trade. But you know, can't win them all, so I was kind of due for a good painful loss, I guess I should say. So that finally went through and learned a few lessons there. But I'm gonna try to go back to my higher premium, like $1.80 to $2 range, and downside with that, I gotta play it much closer to the money. So right now, if I was to get filled on this, and then the next few days we have just a crash down. I would need us to stay above 595, which looks like we bounced pretty good right there, but we really need to see these channels start to even out and turn back the other way. Like right now, they're wanting to go down. We need to get them angled back up. So this is just a kind of just follows the average price action for the previous couple of periods. So I don't know, lots to go on this week. So in other news, I did take pretty good advantage of the Memorial Day weekend. All the companies that I've been ordering things for building my range up, most all of them had pretty good sales on, and I was able to get some orders in, and I should be seeing most of my stuff start showing up. I think tomorrow I got one big order coming in, and I believe Wednesday or Thursday I should see the second big order. So once I get these in, I'll have targets to set up, like a Texas star, five-pointed star. At the end there's a steel target. You knock one off and it starts the whole thing spinning, and you've got to hit each of the other targets as it spins. A plate rack, so just a stationary rack of I think 5 or 6, I can't remember, targets. I'll mount those up to a 2x4 and work on speed transitions. I got a spinner coming. It's got 2 big plates on top and bottom, and you got to hit and start it moving, and you've got to time your shots right. So you hit the plate that's kind of moving back, so you keep the momentum up. Like if it was to be coming forward and you shot the top one, boom, you would lose that momentum and have to start over. So the idea is to make it spin all the way around, but you got to time your shots just right to keep the momentum building until it flips over. Then I got some things called poppers, or pepper poppers, which are just like 28-inch tall steel targets, and shoot, hit them, and they knock over. Also got what they call a flipper. So it's like a little seesaw, and you knock the popper over, and it's up here. It falls down, hits that, and then you mount a clay on the back side of it. So when the popper hits that, throws the clay up, so you've got to shoot at a target on the ground and then a target in the sky. So I got a couple different ones of those coming. I think once I get all these targets in, I'm going to have a very good array of different types of targets. And I was able to, on Sunday, the Sunday before Memorial Day, Monday, I was able to get the last big kind of lane cut through the trees. So the biggest part of the work is done. I've got a little more cleanup to do out there, but I got rained out last Monday, and then we just got about another inch early this morning. I think some hail too. It was a pretty gnarly little storm that come through, and I got an inch right here at the house, and May got more down where we're at, which I'll take getting rained out another weekend for the farmers to get several inches of rain. We're kind of in that fun period of time where the farmers need more water for the cotton, but they also need a couple weeks of dry, no rain, so that the wheat can be harvested. If the wheat sits too long after it's mature and ready to be harvested, then the seeds are going to start falling out of the head, and then you're just losing money as it sits in the field. So that's very bad. So we need dry weather for the wheat, and then we need wet weather for the cotton, so that enough moisture will be in the ground to germinate the seeds and get them sprouting, get them up and moving. So being a farmer is a very tricky task, especially here in southwest Oklahoma. But that's the joys of it, I guess. So first week of June is kind of the really everything starts hitting really hard kind of time. So some years you're able to start wheat harvest towards the end of May. Just depends on the weather for the previous few months. And then usually by the first, second week of June, if it's dry enough, you've got all the wheat harvested. And then hope for a good couple of rainstorms and get the cotton planted, get it up and moving. Hopefully we'll get enough rain this year to refill the lake. That is going to be the big hurdle. So it'll be tricky. But been hearing we may have a wet June, so entirely possible. Man, okay, back to Tesla. It is still trying to hold this. If we can close above 605 today, we'll be in pretty good shape. So we're about 20 seconds away from the last 3 minutes of the day. Man, I'd really like to see a close above 605 and then a pretty strong start to tomorrow. So another thing I like to do, I'll get out here, look at the volume of certain trades. So that 580 has 23,000 contracts traded on it today. So right now that is the big level. There's either a lot of people that think it's going to stay above 380, so they sold a lot of, or 580, excuse me. They sold a lot of 580 contracts. That also means there's a bunch of people that believe it's going to fall back down below 580 by the end of the week, so they bought those contracts hoping to get a profit on them. On the call side, wow, the 590 calls, 32,000. 600 had 56,000 traded today. That thing had a low of $7.50 up to a high right now, $19.40. Wow, that is getting pretty crazy. Let's see. Yeah, it's been a rough couple of weeks, that's for sure. Tesla's making a pretty good push back up, though. A couple hours ago, it got a good run, broke back up over 6, and now it's trying to reclaim the 605s. So I know AMC was the hot one for last week. Actually, I better click over. We got a minute and a half left. Yeah, so this is what I was afraid of with AMC. It's going to reach a point that it's just going to be getting bought up and sold down, and bought up and sold down, and bought up and sold down. So I don't know. I think it may have another little push in it, but wow. 339 million shares traded on AMC today. That's insane. GameStop's only had 5.7 million. And Tesla's rocking pretty strong, 21 million. So it's moving well. Down to the last minute. So, I think we'll hold 605. We're either going to jump back up to like just over 606, or we'll get slammed back down to like 604, 603.50, somewhere around there. We'll see how it goes. But main thing is if you're going to be sure of Tesla doing well with the Plaid event on Thursday, then look to get into a trade today or tomorrow, and then it's a lot of stuff to watch for this week. It is going to be an exciting one, that's for sure. Alright, we got 5, 2, 1, and they tried to push it down. So they're going to give us 605.13 looks like for the day. So pretty good comeback. Decent way to start the week off. Now if we'd have been at 605.13 on Friday last week, that would have been really good for me, but tells me that I was correct in my thinking, just not in my timing. So that happens sometimes. But yeah, that guy right there, that big slam down on Thursday, that's what really cost me. So, but that's the game of it. You never know what the future is going to hold, but trying to make a trade to take all the factors you can possibly consider into account, and then, you know, be ready to take the lumps if you're wrong. So, good to see you, Jeremy. It's been kind of a very hectic last few weeks, so I am in the process right now of getting the last targets for my range in. They should be here. I know one big order is coming in tomorrow. Then I got another one coming in on Wednesday or Thursday. So, and that's actually a call I need to grab. So I gotta bounce, guys. Thank y'all for checking this out, and swing back through next Monday. We'll be here. Thank you. Bye.